We are here with Andy Karyofilis from Party Bands and Jelly Bean Jam. Thank you so much for joining us today.
For having me.
So Andy, tell us a little bit about your own personal performance history.
So I've been performing in Jelly Bean Jam for probably 20 years this year, and then a couple of other bands before that. So 44 years of age now. We started in '86, and we've had a couple of different bands, but the band that we've been doing the most work with is Jelly Bean Jam.
And so tell us a little bit about Party Bands.
So Party Bands came about pretty much with Jelly Bean Jam working for 20 years. We've got a lot of inquiries that we can't handle. So we decided to put together a company where we look after a lot of different bands that come off those inquiries, and pretty much have every band in Sydney sort of jump me on board and sort of going, you know, give us some inquiries, help us out and see what we can get.
Fabulous. So if somebody comes to you wanting a band for their wedding or corporate event, how's the process work?
I normally give them, you know, we always talk over the phone. I establish what kind of feel they want for a band, what they're looking for, how many sets, what sort of instrumentation, whether it's a bit jazzy, whether it's a bit funky, whether it's sort of outrageous and silly, and sit down with them or do it over the phone and then just get a real vibe of what they're looking for. And then I'll just sift through all the inquiries, email all my guys and find out who's available, who can do it for the budget, and who wants to sort of jump on board, and then go back to the client and have a good chat with them again and give them my recommendations, but obviously let them have a good look and see what they feel as well.
Fabulous. Now, Jelly Bean Jam is your big brand name. Congratulations on winning the Australian Club Entertainer Award 7 times.
7 times, yeah.
That's insane, 7. So tell me how it feels to win something like that.
Oh, look, it's fantastic. It's very much judged through the peers, you know, in the entertainment industry. So it is a Club Entertainment Award, but it's club these days is very corporate.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it used to be clubs and pubs just getting out there and putting a ripped shirt on and doing whatever. It's very, very corporate based, so it's kind of a good grounding for your corporate gigs and your wedding gigs as well. So it's pretty cool to win those awards. And we've done 2 or 3 of the Australian Chamber of Commerce Australia Day balls.
Wow.
So they've been pretty cool. And then another one was New Year's Eve in Bangkok.
So in terms of weddings, so we have a lot of brides out there. Tell me, what do you think is the process that they should go through choosing their band for their wedding?
Look, it's changed a fair bit these days in regards to bands don't play publicly as much as they used to. So a lot of it is online, a lot of it is video, a lot of it is audio. So I think I really like to establish a good rapport straight away with them, because I think it's obviously it's a personal wedding. People are spending money on a band. It's different to being a corporate entity where you go, that's how much it is, fantastic, lock it away. I think brides and grooms really should be nurtured and sat down with and spoken to in the point where it's the biggest night of their life to date, really.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of getting personal with them and finding out what they really want.
And so when your bands are playing at, say, a wedding, for instance, do they get to choose the playlist?
The bride and groom, definitely. We again, trying to make it as personal as possible to the point that we can accommodate. A lot of the time too, I think it's, we've done enough of the weddings now to know that sometimes with bride and grooms, it can be like, I want that, but you think, I don't know if everyone's going to want that. So we give them an option of saying, pick all the songs that you really want, but go through the set list and pick the ones that you definitely don't want, so we don't have an unhappy bride. Not so much the groom, but the bride. But also, I think knowing that you're playing sometimes from 5-year-olds through to 70-year-olds. So as much as you want to have a night for just the bride and groom, I think bride and grooms these days are quite aware that everyone wants to have a good night.
Yeah.
So you want to have a good band that everyone's going to enjoy as well.
Absolutely. Great advice there. You are a member of WEOA for quite a while, since we have first started. Yeah,
and people want to get the right advice. People want to make sure that they know what's out there. So having a website like that, having a resource like that, it's unbelievable. You know, suppliers, venues, bands, DJs, it's being involved with that. I mean, it's amazing. It's fantastic for us.
Well, it's really great to have you.
Thank you.
So where to next for Jelly Bean Jam and Party Bands?
Well, Jellies are in their 20th year, so maybe another 20 years. We'll see how we go. I don't know how long I can last, but Jellies, it's great. It's a well-known band, so it's going to keep going and rolling and doing the right thing. But the other side of it is Party Bands. We really want that to now lift. It's like WEOA, the awareness of Party Bands, the fact that we can do jazz, DJs, disco, funk, all that kind of stuff. It's not just limited to one style, and the fact that we've got 20 or 30, sometimes even 40 different acts available.
Yeah, wow.
We want to build that up to the point that it's the #1 kind of wedding band supplier in Australia.
That's fabulous. So all in one roof.
Yes.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and once again, it's so wonderful to have Jelly Bean Jam and Party Bands as part of WEOA.
Great.
Thank
you. Very
you.
much. Thanks.